I just hit 1,000 subscribers and I wanted to take a second and say thank you. If you are one of those 1,000, thank you so much. And if you're new here, welcome. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to share how to never run out of ideas on YouTube, and also my rationale, my thinking for how I got to my first 1,000 subscribers and then where I plan on going from now. And one of the common problems that I wrestle with is coming up with a good idea and then sticking to it and actually making it. And so I think I've discovered something really powerful around never running out of ideas for YouTube. There's two parts to this equation. And I feel like in a lot of these videos, I'm starting to narrow things down to two parts, but hopefully it makes it simple for you. Part number one for me has been going out and finding what people are looking for. So the ideas come from the world. It comes from what people are searching for. So keyword research plays a huge role in that for me. In fact, when I started this channel in 2017, one of the things that I did, originally this channel was based around social skills, helping people become more confident in how they talk and communicate with others. And I was doing a lot of keyword research around common challenges with socializing. And one of the keywords that I found was how to stop obsessing over someone. And I found that there was a high search volume for that term, but low competition. There wasn't a lot of people that were creating videos around that term yet. So I knew, I was confident, I had a good chance of showing up on the top, maybe one, if not second page of YouTube when people search for that term. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. And now my number one video is how to stop obsessing over someone explained. And I think up to now, there's about 75 to 77,000 views for that one video. So doing keyword research using tools like TubeBuddy has been easy for me because TubeBuddy also lets me find other suggested terms that people might be searching for, where there might be a decent amount of volume and low enough competition for my video to have a shot if it's well optimized to show up on that first or second page of YouTube. So that's one suggestion right there, is to do keyword research, find what people are searching for, find where you're confident that you can add value in answering one of those questions that people have out there on the internet. The second approach is a more personal approach, and I'm not trying to rank on any search engine with this approach. In fact, I know the odds of me ranking are low, and I'm not doing this kind of video to show up on that first or second page. It's a video that's more personal to me. It's meaningful to me. And the idea with this kind of video is that once people are subscribed to me, or once they've found my channel in general, they see these other videos that I've created and they discover them that way. I don't expect them to be able to search for them to pop up even on the front page, but maybe once they've discovered me, they see all these videos that are personal, that are meaningful, where I feel like it's more in line with my creative vision, with what I really want to share with the world, how I want to share my message, the ideas that are important to me. And the way that I come up with those videos is counterintuitive, because what I used to do was feel like, all right, where do I have a high amount of certainty? Where do I feel like I've read a lot of books in this area? I've spent a lot of time studying it, doing it. Where do I have a lot of expertise? Where have I conquered this area in my life? And then now I'll do a video on it. And what happened was it really limited me. It limited my capacity to come up with ideas, because there was always this filter of, you're not smart enough, you're not well studied enough, you're not ready yet to talk about that. People are going to realize you're a fraud and you have no idea what you're talking about. You're going to look stupid. So maybe later, my brain would push that idea off to the future. But instead, what I've started doing is giving myself permission to explore what I'm struggling with in my life right now, where I'm searching for help, where I want to take my life to the next level. And I'm creating content from that perspective, because I've realized no matter what I struggle with, no matter what I'm going through, there are hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people all going through the same thing. And I might not have figured it out completely. I might not be at this imaginary finish line where I'm thinking I have the answer and now I can share it. But if I'm even 1 or 2 or 3 steps in, that can still help someone at the starting line. That can still help someone who's struggling even more than me. So it would be selfish for me not to share it. It would be a disservice for them. An example of this is a video I created last week on how to stop your mind from ruining your life. And in that video, I had been wrestling with this, and really ever since the pandemic, wrestling with my mind and this inner gremlin and this part of me that would question and doubt and feel like I wasn't good enough. I wasn't able enough. I wasn't creative enough to be consistent with getting my message and my content out to the world. And I was battling this thing and battling this thing. And I kept telling myself, one day when I'm there and I've put this thing behind me, then I can come out and I can share how I did it. And this just prevented me from helping other people. It prevented me from sharing the value that I already had in me, and it made me undervalue my own ideas. What if instead of coming to that imaginary finish line where we think we have to arrive at, what if right now you take whatever you're challenged with, whatever you're going through, and you start opening up and sharing what that journey has been like for you? You start sharing your experiences, your stories, the pain, the difficulty in it, what you're learning, what you are getting, even if it's just one little thing that you've realized, sharing that in the process, because you're always going through something. No matter where you are, no matter where you've been, no matter what you've accomplished or haven't accomplished, you're always going through something. You're always going through something difficult. It's part of being human. And instead of pretending like we can't play in that area, like our YouTube ideas, we can't go there because people might think we're stupid or sound silly or whatever. Giving ourselves permission to go there, to play exactly in that world, and to shine a light in what we're struggling with, because there's a perpetual list of those factors. It's a never-ending list. You'll never run out of ideas if you constantly ask yourself, what am I going through right now, and what can I share about it with other people? Ideas are always going to come to you. Even right now, as I'm recording this, I'm thinking, am I going to be able to keep flowing with this idea? Am I going to run out and forget what I was even talking about? Am I going to look silly? All of these thoughts are coming to me right now. And even this idea of doing keyword research and how to never run out of YouTube ideas. I struggle with coming up with YouTube ideas. So even as I'm telling you this right now, I'm taking my own advice and realizing, Byron, you need to do the same thing. What you're challenged with can be useful for other people. And so I created this idea. Instead of sitting there, I was originally racking my brain, like, how can I do a cool 1,000 subscriber special? How can I do something creative and fun? And it was, well, what are you going through right now? Share it. And I realized this has given me an endless supply of ideas that I can tap into. So if you have, first of all, the idea of doing keyword research and finding what people are looking for online, and then presenting your content so that it matches up right there. You're aiming for that first, maybe second page of search results, great. But then also you're pulling from your own life and you're sharing your own challenges and frustrations in a way that will resonate on a much deeper level with your audience too. And you put both those things together. I am confident that you'll never run out of YouTube ideas. You'll keep perpetually creating them and coming up with them. And the last thing that I'll say with this, that I wish I would have internalized sooner. I wish I would have gotten this message and put it into practice sooner. And it's the idea of quantity over quality. Being a perfectionist, being someone that wants to create the very best thing I can, and being so hard on myself when I don't live up to that vision, that's the thing that's blocked me from coming up with ideas more than anything. Instead of seeing the long-term approach of, let me just create 100 videos and just do it, and then reserve the criticism and the self-judgment and how am I really doing until I get to that 100th video, I know I would have been way more prolific. I would have cranked out a lot more content. My biggest hurdle was creating a video and immediately watching it and feeling like that's not quite what I had in mind. It didn't come out right. It didn't look right. It didn't sound right. It didn't even feel right. And then I was hurt. I was crushed. And then I would lose a little bit of inspiration going into the next video. And then I'd do the same thing. This time it'll be better. This time it'll be better. And still, it didn't quite look right. Didn't quite sound right. Didn't quite feel right. And my inspiration kept dropping. And this is initially what had me stop making videos. I started this channel in like 2017. But I was even making videos before that. I started making videos in college in 2010, 2011. I think it was earlier than that. I want to say 2009. 2008, going all the way back. Man, I forgot when I was in college. 2007, 2008 was when I started making videos. That's how long my journey has been with this. So the number one thing that stopped me, where I felt like I've run out of ideas, hasn't been the amount of ideas I've had. It's been my own mind preventing me from doing it, placing a filter on what I was creating, saying, you're not there yet, it's not good enough, what's the point, stop. And then I would get fired up and excited, and then I would go again. Instead of doing that to yourself, just make an agreement. Create 100 videos. You don't have to watch any of them. You can if you want to. Create 100, just get it out there. Just take it from here and just get it onto the camera and get it out to the world. And then after your 100th video, go back and now start watching them and then look for how you can improve, because the quantity of doing this is where you start to get into a flow. It's where you develop enough of a sense of trust in yourself. It's where you develop that unconscious competence to be able to continuously do this. And that's where you don't have to think as hard about your video ideas. And also along the way, because you're being consistent and you're creating a high quantity, I guarantee you will gain subscribers and an audience from doing that. And your audience will start informing your videos. And then now you can just ask them for your next video idea. And they'll tell you in the comments, they'll tell you in your presence online what they want to hear from you. And so that also becomes an easy way to never run out of ideas. There we go. I hope this helped you. I'm going to be doing a mix of long one-take videos like this because I know I can crank them out a lot faster. There's no editing required on my end. Editing takes a long time, obviously. But then also one video a week, I plan on doing a highly edited, high production video where I want to be telling a story. I'm going to be creating something that is, to me, meaningful, that I want as my audience for you all to enjoy and to take with you to inspire you to grow and to get to a deeper level of self-realization as well. But thank you again for the 1,000 subscribers. That means a ton to me. I'm really excited about continuing this going forward. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being with me, and let's keep on keeping on.